Bryant Street Publishing presents Publishable by Death by Acf Bookens. Read for you by Sarah Pesek. For Mom, who taught me to read and modeled the joy of disappearing into story. Chapter 1. It was a brisk March morning as I walked away from the cove toward Main Street in St. Marin's, Maryland. In the shadow of the buildings, I was just beginning to see the tops of daffodils poking up their heads. But today, I tugged the hood of my long sweater up higher on my head and pulled the collar of my peacoat closed. Short hair was perfect for the warmer days, and for owning my ever-graying locks. But in these cold months, I sometimes missed my long ponytail. Spring was coming, but it didn't feel much like it today. We'd had ice overnight, and while the temperature had gone above freezing already, the roads were still wet and ice clung to the edge of puddles. Still, I practically skipped down the sidewalk, even though skipping isn't always that flattering on a slightly plump 44-year-old. I didn't care. This was going to be the first weekend my new bookstore was open. I slid my key into the lock on the front door of the old gas station and put a little muscle into turning it into the glass-fronted door. As I swung it open, I took a minute to enjoy the little bell above my head as it chimed. That bell had been hanging over that door as long as anyone in town could remember, so every longtime resident of St. Marin's told me when they stopped by to say hi and take a gander at the newest shop in their, our quaint town. I loved that bell, not just because it was part of the charm of this building, but because I looked forward to hearing it when it meant people were visiting my bookshop. I had just come back to St. Marin's the previous October. I visited when I was a kid on a summer trip from our family home over near Baltimore, and I'd never forgotten the charm and friendliness of this waterside community. I hadn't had much time to socialize since coming back, though. I'd hit the ground running because I wanted the shop open as soon as possible. I needed the income to help build my book inventory, but also to be able to help pay the mortgage. My best friend Mart, an expert on wineries.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?